Now, guys, this world is full of some crazy things. We got some outrageous acts that have been committed in this world, and we got a bunch of deviants that are coming to light as of late, but we know these things have been going on forever. And in this case, and I know it's a little old, this is something out of a movie. If you guys have ever seen that Van Wilder movie, that's the first thing that comes to mind. And I'm not saying this to be a joke and laughing matter, it's not, but just to know how far some human beings will go. And the conscious, how's your conscious resting? How do you go to sleep at night? And two people together, they talk about manipulation and all this, and this is some stuff that you would see on a true crime show. But without further ado, let's get into this tale, this story of Cynthia and Dennis Perkins. Let's go.
This teacher, Cynthia Perkins, did the unthinkable. In Walker, Louisiana, Cynthia taught English at Westside Junior High School, where they claim students receive a superior quality education. Instead, students received something more sinister. Perkins fed cupcakes to school children that were laced with her husband's semen. When law enforcement raided her home, they found a vault filled with encrypted hard drives. The horrific evidence led to Cynthia and her husband being charged with 150 crimes, including production of child pornography and rape. Cynthia Perkins was sentenced to 41 years without parole. Her husband, police officer Dennis Perkins, was sentenced to 100 years. Cynthia claims that he was the real monster, but her victims strongly disagree.
Now, I know a lot of you guys are probably like, JR, I've heard this, or this is pretty old, and it is old. I heard about it on the news. I didn't really go into too much detail. I saw the headlines, especially the early part of this year when Dennis was convicted, because initially he was going to take it to trial. His wife, Cynthia, was sentenced last year, I believe around February, where she pled guilty and she received 41 years. They were facing 150 charges. This is some well-to-do couple that the husband was a sheriff and the SWAT commander for the city of Walker Police Department, if I'm not mistaken. The wife was a junior high teacher at Westside Junior High. So a lot of people that we see from day to day, you never know what's going on behind closed doors. There are some sick people out here. And for a wife to go along with these things, because she was going along with these things for quite some time. There's a 10-year difference between the two. I think currently now one is 37 and one is 47. And he's going to be spending the rest of his natural life in there. If she lives another 41 years, it is what it is.
Cynthia Perkins, you see her there, cut a deal that will have her testifying against her ex-husband, the man you see there, Dennis Perkins, a former Livingston Parish deputy sheriff in Louisiana.
It all started in December of 2019 when these two individuals, a deputy in Livingston Parish and his teacher wife, who was a middle school teacher, got caught by Adobe. They were photoshopping things. Adobe turned them into authorities in Louisiana, which launched an investigation. Authorities with the Attorney General's office showed up at the couple's house. They found this safe full of hard drives, computers, thumb drives, things like that. And all of it was encrypted with a software called Keep My Data Safe. And so essentially they had to come in and decode everything. And when they decoded everything, they were alarmed at what they saw. They saw a child. They also saw what appeared to be this deputy who was ejaculating on sweets that were then being served to his wife's class.
Do we know if any of the children were actual students or relatives, or were these just videos that they collected off of the internet?
So according to the court documents that we have, the kids that were served the sweets were definitely students in her class. They photoshopped apparently the kids' photos, and they had pictures of the children eating the sweets, the cupcakes that he had calculated on. In terms of the actual victims that were by these individuals, we're told that they possibly were some of their close associates or people that they knew.
I guess she'll be getting out, but she claims to be, as usual, that he manipulated her into doing these things. At no time did she feel safe to contact the police, I guess, because he was a part of the police force, but luckily they would have kept these things going on and somebody tipped them off, as was stated in the story here. They got tipped off to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children back in 2019. And how this happened was with a photo, I believe, that went along with the tip that the local authorities had found. But the fact that this guy did this to some cupcake batter that she then served to her students, these teenagers, is just sick. And not only that, she recorded him doing it. This was funny. And I think even some of the parents are still dealing with this, still dealing with the mental health to know that this is what went on. The kids, like, you're supposed to be trusting your teachers and they're serving you something that has somebody's biological fluids in it. This is very disturbing. And just to have that thought, why would you want to do that? And these acts that they performed with someone that was underage. And to my understanding, they found a camera in the attic and a camera in the bathroom, a hidden camera. What do these people got going on? I'm not sure if they had children or not, or who this person was, but they said the victim was in court, and at both of their sentencing, the victim basically was just like, hope you enjoy the rest of your life behind bars, because that's where you deserve to be at the end of the day. And that is. And I think when they asked Dennis about the whole situation, he says that Jesus Christ has already forgiven him, so nothing that anybody says is really going to affect him. 100 years, buddy, get comfortable, especially for her. Another 40 years from now, she'll be what, 77, 78 years old? And this is without parole. You know you're going to be in there over some BS. And then you're trying to use the excuse. She was hoping that she was going to get off by saying that it was all his fault. He made me do this. This is your husband. What kind of husband you got? A lot of y'all ladies dealing with sick guys like this, and you're in this much fear that you would go about doing something that you know is morally wrong and that's sick like this. I had a neighbor back when I used to live in Washington State. They raided his house and they found all this stuff. But you want to have, I don't know, man. This is crazy. This is beyond me, how people just do this stuff. That's why you guys also need to be careful about where you let your kids go at, and talk to your kids, because these things do happen. It's happening all the time, and people are grooming them, all types of stuff, man. 150 counts. And the shame that you have. He was immediately fired from his job, obviously, once they found it. And before she could get fired, she resigned, because I guess she thought that she was just going to pin it on him. And I guess her attorney said, go ahead and divorce him now that both of you guys are being arrested. That'll help your case to show that he was manipulating you in this situation. Unfortunately, that didn't work, baby. You tried to say that you weren't a willing participant, but the victim said that you were a willing participant. And I don't know, man. You're supposed to be protecting children. You're supposed to be, you got students. Like, come on. I don't know what to say about it. This is crazy. But they're where they need to be at this time. And hey, I hope they stay there for the rest of their lives, their natural lives. Let me know what you guys think about this story. Comment below. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hit me up on Linktree to book a one-on-one with yours truly. Purchase all my books, merch, t-shirts. It helps to support the channel. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. With that being said, much blessings and abundance. Stick around for the next video that's going to pop up on the screen below. That's where I'm going to see you guys at. This is your favorite everything. Listen, this is wisdom. I'm out of here. Peace.
Yeah. 50 Cent. 50. Part 2. Bring it back. Yeah. Can't forget Tony. 50. UK.